Hello guys and welcome to the next part of the unit 1, that is the parameterized constructor that we have seen in previous video. Let's move on the next topic, that is the method overloading. In Java we can create the method with the same name but a different parameter list and different return types. This is called as method overloading. When we call a method through an object, the Java matches up the method name first and then the number and the type of parameter to decide which definition to execute. Constructor are made or method, so we can overload constructor in the same way or that of a method. We will see an example. What is method overloading? Method overloading means a function consists of a same name but having a different parameter. So when we are going to call the function same functions, so we are passing the different parameters. So both method name is same but having a different parameter. So we are passing a different parameter and we can calling through the object. So it will go to that function or it will call that function which is having the same parameter or the parameter matching. If parameter will be the match, then that function will be called. So if I do have a functions with having same parameter name and same class name with another that is having same class same method name and same parameter, same method name and same parameter, it is called as function overriding. And what we are doing right now, or what we are solving, or what we are having in our syllabus, that is the overloading overriding to having into our syllabus. But right now we are studying, or right now we are focusing on the method overloading. What is method overloading? A function having the same name but having a different parameter. So when the object is created and when we are calling that method with the dot operator, so we are going to write down the same function name but having a different parameter. We are going to pass a different parameter. That parameter will be going to that method which are uh, matched to the that method. So these are the method overloading, or there is a constructor overloading also. So we will see the example how the method overloading take place. The method overloading example in uh, this is the method overriding, display method overriding. After that, this is the class name. After that, we do have two functions, that is public void display having parameter character c, that is one parameter, and we are going to print it with the help of a system.out.println and c. We are having same function name but having a different parameter. We are passing public void display having character c and integer num. In public in system.out.println, we are concatenating uh, c as well as the number. So in this we are doing method overloading. Method overloading, display having same name, that is display but having character c only, and having same name display but having a two character or a two parameter, that is the character and number. So when we are going to write down the class name with a main function, that is a class sample having main function, in that we are going to create an object here. How we are going to create an object of which class? The method consists within that class. The method, where is the method display and display? This is the in method of display or display overriding. So we are creating object of a display overriding obj new display overriding. After that we have object name, that is obj. If you want to call these two function, we need to call with a dot operator. So obj dot display a, we are pass here character. So compiler does not have any sort of confusion in between the where it should go. So it will go to the first, that is having us, it will go this obj, this will go to this character because it consists of a single character, so it match with this. So system.out.println c. After that we are going to written down here obj.display a and 10, so it should go here. So it is character c has passed to a and num pass as a 10. So this is the method overloading. So output consists of, you are going call, if you are um, calling two function with the object, that obj.display and obj.display with a single character a and with a single character plus number. So it will go to the respective functions which is matching through their parameters. So after that we are having output in front of you, that is first output will be the a and second output will be the a and 10. This is the more overloading. And what we are passing this message to the respective functions is called as message passing. So everyone is getting what is overriding. Overriding means function having same name but a different parameter. Here the function having same name, display having same name but having different parameter. First having character C and one parameter, and second having two parameter, that is character C as well as integer num. So this part is consist of a method overloading. Coming to the next part, that is the constructor overloading. Constructor overloading, how constructor will be overload with and how the things will be done with the help of this. Just go through the constructor. Integer class A, let me get a first. Integer class A, integer AB, and default constructor having A, that consists of no parameter. Here no parameter. In this second, there is a second this constructor. How you have identified this is the constructor? Why I am not identify this is as a function? Because it is having the same name, that is A, and this is also having A. So we have, and what class name consists of, it is A. So we are sure about that this is the constructor. This doesn't have a return type, that is void integer or anything. So we have taken a constructor. In that we have written down a is equal to 15 and b is equal to 10. After that we have taken a with a two parameter. This is the parameterized constructor. This is the parameterized constructor. It is having two parameter, that is x and y, and we are assigning that x and to y to the integer ab. Why we are assigning that? If you want to use this a x and y below this constructor, we could not use this. So to access everywhere, we are going to pass it to the global variable. Where it is a global variable, a and b will be the global variable, so x and y will be the local variable. So x and y will be converted to a and b, or will be copied to a and b. Void put is used for system.out.println. Void put is used to print a and b. So these are the method, or these are the things we are done. So everything will depend on how we are going to execute it. How we are going to execute it? Class b consists of a main function. We are going to initiate the object with a constructor, that is the constructor a obj new a obj dot put. What we are done here, we are assigning value 50 to 10. 15, a is equal to 15 and b is equal to 10, and we are going to print it. So a consists of 15 and b consists of 10. After that we have called put. So object the println will be given output 15 and 10. After that we are going to call a parameterized constructor. How we are going to call parameterized constructor? A obj new a, and we have passed a two parameter, so it will go to the this parameter. This will copy x and y to the a and b. And if we are again, we are going to access the put method, so it will give the output, that is, just a minute, it will give output 10 and 20. What it will give output? 10 and 20. So this is the constructor overloading. This is the constructor overloading. And what is overriding? Same, here is the function having same name and same parameter, that is having the constructor overriding. Constructor overriding we'll see in next lecture, or in next part, whenever it comes to the our syllabus point. So today we have seen that is the method overloading and constructor overloading. Overloading means function having same name but having a different parameter. In constructor overloading, we have seen a default parameter. In default parameter, we have assigned value a as a 10 and b as a as a 15 and b as a 10. Input method, we have system.out.println, we have printed a and b. When we have created object of a, that is default class, and we have accessed the method, so it would give the output like 15 and 10. When we are going to access the next constructor, our next constructor, that is the a, consists of a two parameter, that is integer x and y. X and y will be the local variable that would be copied to our global variable a and b. So it should be accessed everywhere. So a and b has been printed in a put method. So in a next step, we have an object creation, that is the obj. We have new a is equal to, we have 10 20 values, and again we are invoking our method, that is the a and b, and a and b now consist of 10 and 20. So this is the constructor overloading. Your next part will be the constructor overloading. So you must have gone through the both method are both practical, that is the function overloading as well as constructor overloading. As I have seen that I have uploaded many lectures on YouTube, but I haven't got that much response or views on this. So if you found any sort of queries regarding Java, you can ask me so I can communicate with you at with any type of medium. So don't hesitate to ask anything. So next topic will be the scope of variables. What is the scope of variable? Scope is the part of the program in which the variable is accessible. Scope means in braces or in throughout the program where we want to use a program. So program or variable having some sort of limitation. If we are declaring the variable as a local variable, it should not be accessed throughout the class. If you are declaring as a global variable, it should be accessed to the all the class that resides or functions or programs or data that resides in that class. After that, depending upon the scope, there are three types of variable. We already seen that: local variable, instance variable, a class, and static variable. We have seen local variable. What we are going to see in this topic, that is the instance variable and static variable. With the help of a next program, we will see. In a scope of variables, local variables having some definition, I will just read out it. I have explained all the things of local variables with the example that why we are taken integer x y, and again we are going to copy with a and b, and why this we are doing, because x and y has no access beyond that class. So if you want to use this class with the system.out.println, or if you want to print that data that we have used, so this must be a global, should be accessed everywhere. So local variable access within that function or within that constructor what we are involved. So after that, what is the local variable? Local are declared in a method, constructor, or a block. We already explained. Local variables are created when the method constructor block is entered, and the variable will be destroyed once it exists the method and constructor block. Once it has been invoked, it will be destroyed. Local variables are not accessible outside the block in which they are declared, that I already told you. After that block or in that curly braces, beyond that, uh, the local variable will not be useful or will not be used outside of that. There is no default value for local variable, so local variable should be declared and the initial should be assigned before first use. So initial value should be assigned. Local variable mm, can not be defined as a static. Local variable we cannot define as a static. What is static? Static means its memory location will be the one. So likewise, if we have object and we have created one object, two object, three object, it has a specific memory or separate memory for object 1, separate memory for object 2, and separate memory for object 3. Likewise, in static there will be the one memory case for each data type, which is declared under the static keyword. Instance variable are declared in the class, outside the class or method or constructor or any block. Instance variable are created allocated memory when an object is created. Use of the keyword new and destroy when the object is destroyed. New keyword is used for memory allocation, and destroy when we are going to close that application or close that program, it will get destroyed. The instance variable are visible accessing for all methods, constructor, and block in the class, that we can call it as global. The instance variable have default values. For numbers, the default value is 0. For boolean, it is false, and for object reference, it is a null. So likewise, in a local variable we have to assign the values, but in the case of an instance variable, there will be a value assigned, default value assigned to it. So for numbers, it is default value is assigned is 0. For boolean, default value is assigned to false, and object reference, it is a nulls. Every time an object is created, separate copy of instance variable is created, that I already told you. After that, class or static variable. Class variable, also known as a static variable, are declared with the static keyword in a class, but outside a method or constructor or a block. It is declared but outside the method or class. There would be one copy of each class variable per class, no matter how many objects are created from it. I already told you that if we are going to declare a variable with the help of a static keyword, there will be a memory allocation, only one memory allocation for it. If you have created thousands of objects, irrespective of that, it is having a separate or single memory allocation. uh, this one copy of static variable is shared among all the object created. Static variables are created when the program starts and destroy when the program stops. For number, the default value is 0. For boolean, it is false, and object reference, it is like an instance variable. Static variable can be accessed by the calling with the class name dot variable name, as we have done with the length and width, that we have created object rectangle 1 dot length is equal to 10, rectangle dot width is equal to 20. Likewise, we have assigned the value with the help of a class name dot variable name. So this is the last PPT of unit 1, or part of unit 1, that is the scope of variable. Here is the scope of variable, that is class A. Here is the instance is integer A and B. After that, static C, that is the class variable or static variable. Void get data, it consists of integer D, that is the local variable, that is having memory access, integer D having memory access from starting from these two V's, and this AB will be used throughout the program. So D will be the local. Here D will be the local, consist of value 40. So C is a static variable, it consists of only one memory, that is the 30. After that, we have created value or we have defined value. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, and in public static void main we have created object of class A, and after that object of with the object 1, with the object and with the object 1, we have created a two separate memory space, but these two separate memory space will be given to only A and B, because C is static, it is common for all variables we are declared here. So we have declared here obj, obj1, obj3, obj4, 5, 6 till 1000 or till to infinity. This static variable is remains shared for all the memories or all the objects. So after that, D is having its local value, that is the 40. It is not used beyond of any sort of these braces. After that, here remaining only A and B. So A and B has been assigned to value uh, to using two different objects. So two different object consist of two separate memory space, that is A is 10 and B is 20, and A is 10 and B is 20. This is the two separate object for object and obj and obj1. C is static, that is common for all variables. If you have object 2, object 3, it is shared to all, and that is the local. D is equal to 40. D is equal to 40, that will be the local, that will not access beyond this will be destroyed. All the variables will be destroyed after closing the programs. So in these programs, or in this video, or in this topic of lectures, uh, I just go through the content of what we have discussed yet. In this, these are the contents that we have seen. Class fundamentals, class and variable will be declared, how after that, scope of variables, that I have right now I have explained it very clearly. After that, constructor, default constructor, parameterized constructor. After, method overloading and constructor overloading, this part we have completed with this part of unit 1. So again, I will request all the student, I will instruct all the students to go through all the videos. If you found any sort of queries, error, technical, non-technical, you can communicate with my WhatsApp number. I have already shared my WhatsApp number with you. So likewise, if you found any sort of query, creating any sort of program, creating any sort of practicals, that for ENTC we have completed 3 practical or 4 practical. uh, uh, I will share the manual with you. So after that, you will come to know that how much practical we have executed in assignment, command line argument, or with a system scanner class. We have lots of practicals that we have included in that assignment, and with the assignment I have provided solution. So I will again instruct all the students to go through the all the program and hands on all the programs and execute. If you came across any sort of queries, you can ask me at any time. So you will find quite interesting that using input using command line argument, input using scanner class, after this function overloading, after that constructor overloading. In next part we will see packages, after that exception. That will be the uh, end of the section A. In next part we will see the things. Again I will request all the students to found any sort of problems, you can communicate. I explain very briefly. If still if you have any sort of problem, we can communicate. Thank you. Thank you very much.